Hey guys, welcome to Farm Charm Chic. I'm Emily and today I am making two really cute farmhouse signs for you, as well as taking you on a tour of some of the garden spaces that I like to work in. I would love if you would consider subscribing, but let's get right into making these signs. I am so excited about this sign that I'm making here. I am using my chop saw here, and so just know that with any power tools, you always want to make sure that you're wearing earplugs if the noise bothers you. You want to make sure that you're wearing protective eye gear and be very cautious. You want to make sure that you keep your hands and fingers away from the blades, all of that stuff. So I'm just marking some of these wood planks that I have from Dollar Tree that come in a pack of like 6 or 7 in a pack, and you're going to cut them with a 45-degree angle on each end. So it's going to make kind of like this, I don't know if this is like a rhombus shape or anyway, almost like a diamond shape if you hold it in the right direction. Then I'm going to take them into my studio and I am just going to use an emery board with a downward motion to sand all of the edges. I'm going to take 4 of these little planks here and I'm going to paint 4 of them front and back with white chalk paint. And then I'm going to take the other 4 and paint them front and back with a blue chalk paint. Obviously do them whatever color works for your decor. If you want to make them like a 4th of July theme, or Christmas theme, or anything, you know, obviously you can do those different holiday colors. I have blue and white a lot in my house, so that's why I chose these. And I am going to kind of give them a little bit of weathered and rustic look. So I use some antiquing wax on the white ones and some white, just some of the white chalk paint on the blue to give them a little bit of a weathered look. I'm just using a stencil brush here from Dollar Tree to do this. I do end up going in, you'll see in a minute, with a chip brush, and I actually like the way that looks a little bit better, my goodness. So if you want to save this step and wait and just do it with a chip brush and be smart, do it, learn from my ways, then just do that. You don't have to do this. So I'm going to take this wood canvas from Walmart. I do not recall how much they are. I want to say they're around $7 or $8 possibly. And this was just what I had. You could buy a bigger one. So my little design, you'll see, will stick over the edge a little bit. And I actually like how that looks, but you could obviously adjust the size of this to your liking. But I'm just using some antiquing wax and a baby wipe to cover it all and make it have that kind of farmhouse wood look. And then of course I'm going to go in with some white paint. This is my chip brush here. And I'm going to give it a very distressed look because this is the look that I like. Obviously, if you don't like this look, then you would skip this step. And I just make sure all of the edges and everything are covered with that. Then I'm going to take my planks and kind of lay them out in the pattern that I want, and kind of how they fit best together and everything. And then what I will do is go in with some hot glue and I will glue them down. But before I glue them down, you'll see how I take my chip brush and I go in and use the antique wax on the white, and then I go in with some white chalk paint to distress the blue a little bit better. Here it looks all together. I think this turned out so good. I am so excited to hang this in my house. It kind of reminds me of a quilt block or like a quilting square. Let me know down in the comments if you kind of get that same vibe from this too, and what colors you would do if you were to recreate this. Today's video is part of the How Does Your Garden Grow series. This is the second playlist in the series. There is going to be a link in my description box. When you scroll down, you'll see that link that you can click on, and it will play all of these ladies' wonderful videos for the playlist this month. We're going to do a lot of DIYs and then also give you a little bit of tour of our gardens and kind of talk a little bit about some gardening things. If there are some things that you want us to cover, go ahead and leave me some comments down there of maybe some things you'd like to know about our gardening or anything like that. We'll do our best to answer them. But you also want to check out all of these lovely DIYers channels. They are all so amazing, and if you're not already subscribed to them, then definitely do so. And I do want to just give a shout out to Jamie from Simple Roots Simple Living. She is the one who organized this playlist, and she is absolutely amazing. I have had this little windmill from Dollar Tree sitting in my stash for a little while now, and it's kind of been staring at me, waiting for the perfect project, and I feel like I've done a good job with this one, so you'll have to let me know what you think. So the first thing I'm going to do is kind of dismantle it a little bit. So I just kind of take off that front little button on it, and then just using some a cross between pliers and then some wire cutters, I kind of just bend and pry, and it does come apart pretty easily. Just take just a little bit of work, but like most Dollar Tree stuff, it's not too bad to get apart. And then I take one of the blades and I just trace it across my scrapbook paper that I'm going to use. And then I'm just going to use some Mod Podge and paint that onto each of the blades, and then just place the scrapbook paper down, and I'm going to press it really tightly to make sure that it gets a good bond, and then just kind of rub out any bubbles or anything. To make this have a really crisp, clean edge on each of these, I just take my emery board. You could use a finger sander, sanding block, sandpaper, anything like that. Sometimes the emery board just gets into some tight spaces that some of those other things don't, at least for me. So I am using a downward motion, so you want to go downward so you're not peeling up the scrapbook paper, and it's just going to sand off the edge to give this a really crisp, clean look. So now I'm going to do the center little button. So I'm just going to trace it out and do the same thing with it with the Mod Podge and with sanding. Then you're going to take any type of sign blank that you have. This happens to be a wood canvas that I had. I think I purchased this one at Walmart. And or you could just use any type of sign from Dollar Tree, but I coated the whole base in white chalk paint, and now I am just going to tape off some stripes. So I use a piece of tape as my spacer to put in between. You can see here I'll put that down, and then I put the next piece of tape down and peel that middle one up. That leaves you perfectly spaced stripes that we're going to do. We're going to paint red stripes on top of this white base, and I pounce along the edge of the tape to give it a seal, and then I kind of go back in, and that's when I fill in all the negative space there. So I do this throughout the whole piece, both on the front and on the sides. And now for what we hope is one of the most satisfying things is when you peel the tape back and you can see those nice crisp lines. I think this turned out really good. There's not any bleeding on here. I do just have a couple of spaces that my fingers touched with white paint that I had to go touch up, but that's super easy. And I'm going to take my emery board, you can use sandpaper or anything, and you know how I distress things, so I'm going to go through, kind of want this to look like a little bit of a faded flag, if you will. So I'm just going to go sand all of the edges, and then since you are doing red and white, you want to make sure that you do the stripes individually. You don't want to kind of cross the red over onto the white, or it really will make those white stripes turn a red color. So I actually don't distress the white stripes, just the red ones, if that makes sense. So then I am going to put some glue just on the ring behind each of the blades and then in the middle, and then I am just going to firmly place that down and hold that windmill onto the base and just hold it tight until that glue dries, and then I'm going to glue that little button on the front to give it kind of a complete look. I love how this turned out. I'm so excited to put this in my house for 4th of July. I go overboard for 4th of July. I know a lot of you guys have left me comments saying that you do the same thing for 4th of July, and I think this is going to be the most perfect addition to my decor for 4th of July. I also just want to let you know that I did get this scrapbook paper at Joann's. They have some really cute 4th of July scrapbook paper. So let me know down in the comments if this is something that you think that you would recreate. All right, let's get right into the garden tour. This is in my backyard. We have a couple of these whiskey barrels that we plant some different things in. These are some lunchbox peppers as well as some jalapeno peppers, which are supposed to be a tame jalapeno. I'll keep you updated on those. These are some cherry tomatoes. We do sweet 100s and sun sugars, which are the little orange ones, and they are my most favorite. We have just some pretty flowers that we have. These are some zinnias. My mock orange is in full bloom. And then we also have a really fun flower bed that we put in last year that we've got some really fun flowers in there. It's starting to really fill in nicely. I've got some annuals I planted this year. This is a hydrangea tree, which hopefully in a few weeks will be in pretty good bloom as well. And then I'm going to take you over and show you what we do at our farm. At our farm, we live about maybe 5 minutes away from our farm. We have these manure spreaders that we plant, and we do tomatoes in this particular one. We have celebrities and Moscows, I believe, and then we also did Roma tomatoes as well. We always plant some marigolds in there because they're known to be really good to keep like bugs and stuff down. So I'm not really sure the science behind that, if it's like a smell thing or what, but we always do it. Plus it looks really pretty too. This particular spreader has beets in it. Last year I learned how to pickle beets and I've absolutely loved those. We've got some squash going in this one. We do crookneck squash, like the yellow squash. We do zucchini. I think this year we have some spaghetti squash. And then we have these fun barrels that we just plant some flowers in to kind of give it a little bit of color. We have kind of like a private little park area there that I'll have to show you guys in one of my next videos. So we spend a lot of time down here. We've got a swing set for the kids. We watch movies down there all summer. These are some peppers right here. We do a lot of salsa making come harvest time, so we've got lots of different peppers. Now I'm going to take you down and show you one of our fields. This was one of the nights we were getting ready to bale some hay. So this is another area that we grow stuff, so not as fun maybe, but I thought it was really pretty this particular night. So we had cut the hay and raked it. It was all dried and ready to be baled. But I just wanted to show you just how fun it is and a little bit about the area where I spend a lot of my time. I just want to thank you guys so much for subscribing to my channel and joining me in today's video. I hope that you have enjoyed what you've seen. Make sure that you click that playlist down in the link so you can see all of the other ladies' videos in this series. And as always, I want you guys to be safe, be smart, be nice, be happy. Choose to have a good day because you are amazing. If you enjoyed the video that you just saw, here's another one that you might enjoy. And as always, remember to like and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching and have an amazing day.